Hi, I'm Clint Arthur. I'm the president of Five Star Butter Company, and you might have seen me judging the Battle Butter on Iron Chef America. A lot of people ask me the question, Clint, how did you get into the butter business? And, like a lot of entrepreneurs, it's kind of an unusual story of how it all happened. When I was in my mid-30s, I could barely walk. I had had a couple of injuries to my knees, and I couldn't go down a flight of stairs without holding on to both handrails because my knees were so weak. And one day I was at the chiropractor. He was a good buddy of mine. His name was Big Stu. And Big Stu said to me, "Hey, Clint, why don't you try healing your injuries with raw nutrition?" And I said, "What do you mean, Big Stu?" He goes, check out this book. And he hands me this book called We Want to Live Free from Disease by Ogenius Vanderplanets. And I look at this book and I'm like, what the heck is this? And he goes, check it out. So I flip to a random page. This is the God's honest truth. I flip to a random page in the book and I see a remedy. And it says, if your legs feel weak or your knees feel like they're going to give out from under you, then you have a thyroid deficiency and you need to heal your body with lots of raw oysters, clams, and scallops from the sea. Now, oysters, clams, and scallops were my favorite foods. They always have been, and they still are to this day, especially raw. And I thought to myself, well, I've been scrimping on my nutrition. I've been eating as cheaply as I possibly could because of my whole odyssey of trying to become a movie star and a filmmaker. And if healing my body is going to occur by just eating better food, eating my favorite foods, then I want to give it a try. So I did. I started eating raw oysters. Like I went to the supermarket, I bought a jar of oysters and started eating them raw. It's actually kind of gross. But I started eating raw food and I read the whole book and I really, really got into it. And I gave it to my girlfriend and she really got into it too. And we started eating raw food all the time. And I actually became a raw food eater for about 3 years. But in the beginning, early on, my girlfriend said, what about the butter? See, in this primal raw diet by Ogenius Vanderplanets, there's all these recipes for remedies and maintenance things that you want to have, like shakes and smoothies and all kinds of things. And the main ingredients are raw milk, raw meat, raw honey, and raw butter. Those ingredients are in almost everything. Now, there was raw meat, there was raw milk, there was raw honey, but there was no raw butter anywhere. And so my girlfriend's like, we need the butter. You got to get the butter. I call up Stu. I'm like, Big Stu, what about the butter? What are we supposed to do about the butter? And he's like, well, we do the best we can. I mean, what do you mean we do the best we can? It's butter or not butter? He's like, well, you can use almond butter, you could use coconut butter, but it's not quite as good. There was no butter anywhere to be had. So I start calling up dairies and manufacturers. I call all the big places in California, including Altadena. Altadena used to be the big manufacturer of raw dairy way back. But what happened was they got sued. Somebody got sick. They sued them. It was a whole big deal, and they stopped making raw dairy. So I call all the California places. Nope, we're not interested. Then I start expanding my search. I'm looking in Illinois. I'm looking in Indiana. I'm calling farms. I'm calling creameries. I'm calling all over the country. I called 153 people and places and companies before I finally found a woman who I convinced to make me a box of 40 pounds of butter that she had not pasteurized the cream first. This was raw butter, unpasteurized butter. So she had two conditions. Number one, Clint, look, I was calling up these places and I would say, hey, this is Clint. I'm calling from California. I'm trying to find somebody who has raw butter, unpasteurized butter. Click. What? Or I call up, hello, my name's Clint. I'm looking to buy some raw butter. Raw butter? What do you mean raw butter? What are you, crazy? That's dangerous. You're crazy. Click. these are the kinds of experiences and reactions I was getting from the people I was trying to buy raw butter from. So finally I find this lady and I'm like, hi, my name is Clint and I'm trying to heal my body with raw nutrition. I'm part of a community. There's all these people here. They have cancer. They have other diseases. We're trying to heal our bodies with raw nutrition. And we're looking for somebody who has raw butter, unpasteurized butter. And I get this lady to agree to make me a special batch of 40 pounds of butter without pasteurizing the cream first. She had two conditions. Number one, Clint, you got to have Federal Express come and pick this box up the day it is ready because I don't want it on my farm. And number two, you have to pay me in advance because I don't want to make all this raw butter and then you don't want it, okay? So you got to pay me first. I said, no problem. So I go to the gym one afternoon. I come home, and lo and behold, on the back of my boat is a box. I had kind of forgotten all about it. A couple days had gone by. There's this box on the back of my boat. I open the box, and in the box are 40 1-pound deli tubs of butter with the clear plastic tub with the clear plastic top on it. So I call up Big Stu, and I'm like, Big Stu, Clint Arthur. Hey, Clint, what's going on? Guess what I got? I don't know what. I have 40 pounds of unpasteurized raw butter on my boat. Big Stu goes, bring me some. So I go over to Big Stu's boat. He was a chiropractor. He had a chiropractic table in the middle of his big boat in Marina del Rey, California. I bring him a pound of butter. He takes his finger. He takes a spoon. Takes a spoonful of butter. Yep, it's raw butter all right. I said, Big Stu, I got 40 pounds of this butter. What am I going to do? He goes, well, you can call my friend. He's the milk distributor. Big Stu was partners in the raw milk distribution company. He's the milk distributor, and he has a walk-in refrigerator in a garage in Venice. And on Saturdays, he has people come over to his garage. Maybe he'll buy some of your butter and sell it to his customers who come to the garage to buy the milk. Well, that became my first customer for butter. And I was selling butter. I was getting like 80 pounds a week of butter for a while. And as we're going through this butter for a while, all of a sudden one day I get a call from Charlie Trotter. And he says, hey, I hear you got some great butter. Charlie Trotter was into raw. I said, yeah. I sent him some butter, and that was back in 2000. And Charlie Trotter has been a client of the 5-Star Butter Company ever since then. That's how it all started. That's the true, honest-to-goodness story. Now, today, we don't have any raw butter. Today, what's going on in the raw butter and raw dairy world is just a travesty. There's so much persecution and misinformation and whatever the case may be. What happened was, over the years, my clients became huge corporations like MGM Mirage and Harrah's Corporation and Ritz-Carlton and JW Marriott and Starwood Resorts. And those companies are not interested in raw butter. What they're interested in is super high-quality gourmet butter in portion control pieces. And so, as the years have gone by, my business has evolved. The 5-Star Butter Company has evolved to become the only manufacturer of certified organic portion control butter pieces in the world. That's what we do, and that's what we make, and those are the kinds of clients that we work with. So that's the true story of how I got to be an entrepreneur in the gourmet food industry. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more information, make sure that you sign up. Like, you can enter your name and email address and get a whole series of very interesting videos about the butter industry featuring me. And I'm sure you'll enjoy them, and I thank you for watching.